Hello, my name is Maxwell Emery. I'm in the Human Centered Design Studio. Today we'll be looking at my research board. My problem space is identifying the most unsustainable factor within football. To start off, I began by looking at the scale and scope of the issue, grabbing key figures and key information about the amount of waste produced and the general scope and scale of the issue as a whole. Moving on, I then looked at three main areas of energy wastage, match day wastage and equipment wastage. For match day waste, I was looking at causes, symptoms, faults, the reasons why there is a large amount of match day waste, looking at symptoms such as the 9 million spectators that watch football and how that contributes to the rubbish and litter on match day. The insight I got from this was that the club's desire to attract more spectators for business reasons but also for brand image limits their ability to reduce the amount of waste on match days. Moving on to energy wastage, I was looking again at causes, symptoms, faults, and one of the causes was that clubs want to keep their pitches in the top condition possible. This is for multiple reasons, but one of the main reasons being that they want to keep their brand image to a higher standard. They want to be perceived as the best, and therefore they need the pitch to reinforce that. They often use 20,000 litres of water per day on a Premier League pitch, and this is obviously a massive issue. The insight I got from this was that the clubs are trying to keep up with the expectations of their brand image, so they sacrifice the large amounts of water used per day on the football pitches. Moving on to equipment wastage, I looked at the harmful chemicals that are in football boots, and I also looked at the culture of football boots and how that is often to replace your boots 1 to 2 times a season. Over 300 million pairs of shoes are thrown away in the UK every year, and FIFA also reported that 86.5% of people didn't recycle their old football products. From these three areas, I figured out that there is a common theme of identity. In all three of these areas, people are trying to satisfy their image and their identity, and they're sacrificing sustainability for that. From this, I then looked at player psychology, exploring factors such as behaviour, self-image, identity, looking at why people are doing this, why they are developing these unsustainable habits, and generally exploring the psychological side of it all. For me, this was the most clear and obvious design direction, looking at the psychology of equipment wastage in grassroots players and using that to go forward. The next stage of my poster was to look at self-identity and psychology of grassroots players in more depth. I found there were significant aspects such as the self-image, the way people evaluate themselves, how their behaviour changes when they evaluate themselves, the motivations and the way people define themselves, and then their general identity and who they are within a given context. I then generated a set of key insights from my research, summarising what I found and generally pointing me in the direction of where I can go for my primary research.